systems deserve micromanagement. Now, I had titled this different, then I changed it because what I wanted to mention is that micromanagement gets a bad rap.
Sure.
But nobody likes to be micromanaged, right? I mean, I am blessed. My work. I like my work, but it can be very difficult. But I have a lot of autonomy.
Sure.
I do it how I want to do it, and so. Did you just see that?
I did see that. Wasn't going to mention it.
It's a bug.
It is a bug. He has passed on from this earth. He is completely dead.
Wow.
Let us pray.
So, but if we can have systems in place, those should be micromanaged.
Sure.
And so if we can micromanage, so let's bring this back to Sunday school and children's ministry. If we can have a system in place of like, this is how we do things, this is how we operate, and then manage that ruthlessly.
Yeah.
Manage that down to the minute detail.
Yeah.
And this came out of that interview I was just talking about with Jimmy Jones. As he talked about everything from like cleaning toilets.
Sure.
He would have a checklist.
That's awesome.
Everything was detailed, and he was basically, he said, and I think Ken Coleman asked him something about micromanaging, and he mentioned that, like, you micromanage the systems. So you had this, everything had these checklists. So I think that when we can micromanage the systems, and then I wrote a note, boundaries create freedom. Basically, when we have the system and like you think of something specific like the script, right? The Sunday school script. When we have that, and today we had a chaotic mess with one of the pieces of the script,
and it just snowballed from that point.
Oh yeah. So, and it was because somebody didn't know it really well.
Well, and I was on stage, unfortunately, when it happened, and somebody jumped the gun, and we're like, "All right, well, here we go. Let's just roll with it."
You have to roll with it, but and it was fine. It was one of those disasters. I guess we should talk about it because we talked about the magic of disaster. Yeah. So what it was is we had. In practice, and you weren't here because of work, and plus you were covering for somebody that missed, but in practice, we even walked through this. Like, we blocked it. We went over to the side we're on right here.
Yeah.
And so we were like, basically what the idea was, our whole premise was James 4:17. When you know to do good, you don't do it. Right. It's sin. And so Sammy, our dunce character, all the recruits got all these equipment, the brand new equipment, and Sammy was scared of damaging his new equipment, so he kept it locked up in a case.
Yeah, his night vision goggles.
Yeah, and so what we had planned is we were going to go to the next outside, to the next room, and turn off all the lights. And there's, we have a little bit of ambient light, but not much, so it's pretty dark. And they were going to go over where the bad guys are. And this is how, or this is the way he could see him is use his night vision goggles.
Yeah.
And so, and we practiced all of this. We like walked through it, and it's like, okay, so then what you say is, Sammy, use your night vision goggles, and he'd be like, no, I don't want to, and then they get captured because he doesn't want to. So, should I say the name?
Have you had this person on yet?
One time.
Okay.
So anyway, somebody, you know who you are, somebody recruited some of the kids for their bad guys. And then Brennan and you and whoever is up there on stage. We're just there
showing off our weapons and we get attacked.
Getting ready to do they go on the mission.
Yeah, waiting for the lights to go off.
Inside the room, on stage.
They throw the nets on us and tie us up. We're like, you're too early. Oh my Lord.
I came out, I'm running around because we were doing a fundraiser and I was trying to get some stuff ready. I run around, I come out backstage, I'm like, what is going on? And I motion to Brennan. I'm like, just go. Because he looks at me and he puts his hands up like, what are we doing?
As he's being a net thrown over his head.
I'm like, just go. So on my way out the door, I turned off the one half. I was like, well, at least get some dark. I don't know. So that was a disaster.
Yeah.
But coming all the way back to the podcast today, what we're trying to talk about is basically that micromanagement. If you have that system and that script and you know it well, it actually provides freedom.
It does.
And so I had the example is I read this a long time ago. There was an experiment done with at like a school, I think, and these kids, there was a playground, same size playground and everything, and maybe it was the same playground, I don't know, but they had a playground and there was no fence. And they observed these kids. I don't remember what length of time, but they observed the kids, and the kids were not super active. They would like go on the swings a little bit, maybe go on the slide, and they all stayed really close to the toys in the middle. And then they did the experiment where they had a playground, same size playground, with a fence around it. And the kids were super active. They would go all over that playground and run around. Isn't that crazy?
Boundaries.
Because they knew where the boundary was. And so I don't know if it's the best example. It's a really cool story. But I think that if we know our boundary, if we know our script, or if you're doing a Bible story, if you know your Bible story inside out, if you're doing a puppet show, if you know the script inside and out, whatever it is, the song, whatever, if you know it inside and out, then it gives you the freedom
it does
to ad-lib or to expound and make it better, to put the emotion in the right spot, all of those little details.
It's true.
It makes it better because you have that micromanagement in place, you know.
It's true, and I found that to be true in, I want to say, the secular world, the business world, because I started a commercial cleaning company back in April, and slow rolling it, and I've got a few contracts, and it's slowly growing. Yeah. The goal is for it to be autonomous, have people that clean, and I kind of manage it and let it grow. Right. But I have found, everybody knows how to clean. Everybody can clean, right? Right. But then when it comes to like the commercial side, I've watched YouTube videos and I've wrote down how to mop. Like people don't know how to mop. There's a right way to mop. And so each business has their own checklist. Like, we customize a little bit for them to see, okay, do you want this done, this done? Yeah, I don't want that done. I want this done. But by the time we walk away, I know, and if I was to hand it off to somebody, hey, go do this, they'll have a checklist. And they know, okay, this is everything I got to get done today. This is the correct order. Then it gives you that freedom, like you said, to maybe focus on one more or the other. But you've got, because you walk in, you're like, okay, I got to clean this whole house. What do I do?
Yeah, exactly. It's this big,
project,
the big
right?
elephant.
Yeah, but then you break it down, one bite at a time, and it gives you that freedom. Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah, that's good. And I guess kind of with this, the next note I have is culture grows in structure. And so when you have that, I feel like, and this maybe seems like a yin yang or dichotomy or something, but I feel like, let's use that example you just talked about. If you had an employee that you gave them the job and you said, here's the checklist, I feel like that actually gives them more freedom and more than if you're like, I don't know, micromanaging them, like telling them, okay, now go do this, now go do that, now go. When you say, okay, here's the checklist, and it kind of comes back to the fundamentals, like basketball, you shoot it properly or whatever. It comes back to the fundamentals is, okay, a great example, and I should have, I just thought of this, but it would have been great to have the details, but like airplanes, when they're getting ready to take off, there's a checklist that they run through, a huge checklist. And it doesn't matter if they might have flown thousands of flights, but they always go through the checklist. They always run the checklist. Always. And so, and it might be like, that might seem too lofty and like, oh, well, of course it's an airplane. But I mean, pilots, they're working just like anybody else. And it could be tempting to be like, oh, I know how to do this, let's go through it. But it's like in sports, keep your eye on the ball all the way till it hits your racket or whatever.
Absolutely.
The same thing. So it's the fundamentals. And so if we can have that structure and discipline, I guess, to maintain that checklist,
Yeah, it's very true. And then, if you get a phone call from a client, they're like, my trash wasn't empty. All the trash doesn't get emptied. And you look and you're like, well, you call your employee and they're like, hey, I did the checklist. Well, you missed this one because you didn't do it.
You didn't do it,